World Financial Group offers entrepreneurs from all backgrounds the opportunity to start their own business on a level playing field. Dr. Yana Woodhouse, receiving the WCM Wall Street Pioneer Award by the United Black Wall Street of America, Inc., is one of those entrepreneurs.
I see WFG and TFA as a place where African Americans with an entrepreneurial mindset can flourish. And the bonus, we help families and serve the communities across the country.
To learn more about us, go to worldfinancialgroup.com.
We are the sons and daughters of the soul. We are resilient and forever forward thinking. We ask for nothing else than the opportunity to live and to create the lives that we were meant to live. We want nothing but an equal chance at options and possibilities. The same possibilities and options to live out our potential as our fellow man. We want to be heard, understood, and expressive in our reality. We are the future. We are the creative. We are here.
Hello, and welcome once again to another fantastic, what I always like to call my Tuesdays, when I get the opportunity to sit and talk to an audience who I know are enjoying. I'm hearing a lot of great things from my friends. I'm hearing a lot of great things from some passerbyers as well. So thank you, everyone. My name is Tyrone Glover, and I'm the CEO of Leverage Credit Recovery, and I'm your dress down CEO. And as always, I'm going to be talking to you about leveraging your score, getting you to that next understanding, that next level of where your credit could be if you, again, just put in a little bit of that understanding that you're going to have to do some work. You're going to have to do some work, as we all do, as we all understand. The work never goes away. It's always there, and we're going to have to apply now some of that knowledge that we already have from whichever job we may have done, whichever situation that we have been presented. We're now going to have to start putting some of that to work, along with using us, those experts, those people out there who possess the skills, who possess the knowledge, who already understand. It's going to take teamwork. It's going to take coaches. It's going to take almost all of what we have inside of us to really start understanding your financial situation is only going to improve when you want it to improve, because there's a lot of us out there who can help you, guide you along the way. That's what these shows are for. These are educational shows which give you a more of connected dots type of an understanding. Literally a connected dots. 1, 2, 3, 4. You follow that. I'm telling you, whatever it is that you want, if you really put your energy into it, and it's not a lot of energy, because as I said, the heavy lifting has been done by those of us who already know how the system itself is either working for you or working against you. And if it's working against you, why not use the experts? Why not use those who know how to navigate that system to get you to where you want to be? Again, think of a doctor. Think of a lawyer. Well, I don't really care too much for lawyers, and I'll tell you that in another whole segment, because that's my issues with them. But think of a mechanic. Think of a coder. Think of those individuals. They're doing things. A better analogy, think of a professional athlete. Okay? Football, soccer, doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. When you put that amount of energy, your finances could look like, not necessarily like LeBron James or Stephen Curry's finances, but it could have that skill set where you can just almost throw the ball up from anywhere and it seems like it finds the net. So you get my understanding. Got to do your part. So again, as I stated, my name is Tyrone Glover. I am your expert. Yes, I'm going to call myself an expert because one of my friends, my dearest friend's mentor, who's a doctor in her field of finance, and I'm not in finance. I don't deal with financial planning. I don't deal with all of that those pieces that come with. I can give you some suggestions, but I'm always going to be able to pass you off to somebody who knows way more. I'm a credit guy. I'm someone who's dove into credit like nobody's business. I really wanted to know why our credit situations are the way that they are. Black folks, Hispanic folks, white folks, Asian folks. Again, what I know would surprise you. And I've also taken a lot of my business background to put it also into this credit piece, because again, who are you dealing with when you're dealing with credit? You're dealing with businesses. And if you don't speak their language, that's like going to China. That's like going to Hungary. That's like going to India. That's like going to Pakistan. That's like going to wherever. You don't have a translator, guess what? You're going to have a very difficult time navigating yourself around. It's just that simple. I'm being just as blunt as I possibly can because I need you to understand the importance of what we the people, have to do when it comes to our finances. It's not going to come through your employer. We already know that. If you don't know it by now, again, shoot me a question, hit me up on an email, whatever, text me, doesn't matter. But it's not going to come through your employer. It's not going to come through the federal government. That's not going to happen. They're going to do as much as they possibly can, but until a lot of things change in which the citizens start making out, then guess what? You're going to have to find a way to make it work for you. And the best way to do that is through your credit. But as I stated, my best, dearest friend, Dr. Yana B. Woodhouse. Again, Dr. Yana B. She has her own show on this network. She is someone that I truly, truly appreciate, love, and honor in every sense of the word. But that's who I pass off to the next people. That's what I do. I get you prepared when it comes to your credit, and I move you right on over to that next person. So again, Access Wealth Nation Thursdays. Check it out. It's really, really good. So we're going to dive right into why we're doing what we're doing today. And as always, our recovery depends on what we do now. It's just that simple. So Leverage Credit Recovery, again, is our name. When our name is strategic, it's designed specifically to give you some thought. Leverage is something that we all need, and we know that we use it when we need it. And credit, again, credit is there because that's how the world more or less functions. It functions off of credit. No one's giving hard-earned cash these days. They're giving you something in the form of credit. And then recovery. This is the only way. Again, there's other individuals out there. There's other people who call themselves experts. There's other professionals out there that are doing the exact same thing, and I applaud them and I thank them and I appreciate them. This is not a competition for me. This is just about doing the job and doing it in the best manner possible for you, because I say it all the time. I say it to my students as well. My reward is going to come from that man upstairs. It's going to come from the creator. Everything I get from an individual, I'm just very grateful and thankful for. But my reward, my true reward, is going to come from a creator. So it only is in my best interest to make sure that I'm doing the best for you. Okay, so I just wanted to make that really, really clear. So recovery is a behavioral situation that we find ourselves in, and we have to recover from it. Our finances are just like a wound, or just like a broken leg, or just like any type of an injury. Some of these things you can fix. Some of these things you can repair. But when it comes to your credit, absolutely not. It doesn't work that way. It doesn't work that way. Again, people can say whatever they want to say, but I'm going to tell you, it's about your behavior. Once you change your behavior, the improvements come automatically. It's just that simple. It's just that simple. And that is again, behavior is a relationship. Once you start improving upon your relationships, and we'll touch a little bit about that as we move through, but once you start improving those relationships, start changing your behavior, and you do that on a multiple, not multiple, I guess so, in all of your aspects of life, things get better. That's what I'm here. That's what I do. I'm the guy who's going to help you navigate through your credit profiles, make sure that your trade lines, make sure everything is you. Because again, I'm your coach. You want me to be your coach? I don't mind. Be on a winning team. All right, let's drop them slides up and let's get this going. So I just wanted to not start off, leave you, but start off with this. Financial independence means living the life I want and not wasting my time on someone else's dreams. And that's basically what's going on. Don't want to regret things I never said or places I never saw. Financial independence gives me the ability to pursue my own plans. That's it, to pursue my own plans. And working for someone is okay. That's what I want everybody to understand. You're going to have to work. That's normally how you get to that better understanding, by going to work and working for someone. Now, I know I might look a little bit young, but I got some grays here, and people are wondering how old. Yes, I'm 56 years old, and I'm very blessed to be 56. I'm so grateful. My mother's 71, and she looks just as young as I do, so it runs in the family. What's so important about pursuing your own? I've worked for a number of companies, and I say a number, so I mean a number. I'm a vet, and that number is probably going to surprise you, but I've worked for about 19 different companies over the course of my life, and I plan on working for more if the opportunity presents itself. But this is going to be my passion right here, helping individuals financially get to this financial independence. All right, 19 different companies allowed for me to gain access to a plethora. I mean, an enormous amount of information, some of the Fortune 500 companies. And when they give you access, they're giving you access for obviously their good. But if you're someone like myself who loves to be an independent study, you're going to use that access for not only just your good, but also, for their good, but you're going to use it for your good as well. And that's where we are in life. I'm positioned strategically, I would have to say, the good man upstairs has allowed for me to be at this particular moment in time to be able to do what I need to do based on all of my experience. Not just things I've read, not just things I've saw, but actually worked, lived, gained that knowledge, gained that experience, gained that understanding to now be in front of you, delivering exactly what you need at this particular time in life. Again, like I said, it's about the translation. If you don't speak business language, it's foreign to you. And you need good people in your corner. All great people have coaches. They do. They do, because they themselves, to get better or greater, I guess you could say that it's a word, to get greater, what do they need? They need someone who can inspire them. They need someone who can bring out that creativity. They need someone who can be there in those down moments and also in those rejoicing, glorious moments. And that's what your finances do. They go up and down, they go up and down. But here's what I want to do. I want to get you out of the up and down ebbs and flows, and I want to focus you on a trajectory, a straight upwards trajectory. And that's by doing some simple things. It's by doing some simple things. It's just that simple. I love the word simple because that's what it is. It's just that simple. All right. So don't overstress yourself. Don't overwork yourself. Don't think that this is going to be, oh my God, such a burden. At first, it's going to seem like that. But again, routine. When you build up a routine, I'm here every Tuesday. If you could meet me every Tuesday or every second Tuesday, guess what you then have? You have a routine. You have something that's going to help you get to that next level. And if you build that routine, I'm telling you, pursue my own plans. That's what you ultimately want to do. Pursue your own plans. Working for someone is okay. Don't get me wrong. But the average millionaire has 7 streams of income. 7. The average person has 1. Okay? Just food for thought. All right. So have you checked your credit data lately? Janet Jackson has this song, What Have You Done For Me Lately? They fit hand in hand, okay? Have you checked your credit data lately? Do you even understand what your credit data actually is? Because if you don't, then, again, foreign language. I don't know too many people that will go to a foreign country without some form of a translating book or someone who could navigate for them or something. I wouldn't do it. I wouldn't, and I've lived in different countries. I've traveled the world. Of the 7 continents, I've been on 5 of them. Yes, 5. Okay, so I've been fortunate enough to do a lot of things. That's why I'm here right now, as I said, perfectly designed for this particular moment in life, right here, right now, to give you what you need. All right, so have you checked that data? And if you don't understand that data, we're going to jump right into it. All right, so let's talk about the national average. The national average is 711. So if you're not at 7-Eleven, you should be talking to someone like myself. All right? If you're not at 7-Eleven, you should be talking to someone like myself. If you're at 7-Eleven, great, fantastic, but I'm going to bust your bubble. As again, this is what this show is all about. It's about debunking, busting myths to get you right exactly where you need. 1 to 3%. They're giving money away at 0%. Businesses are scarfing it up. Banks are scarfing it up. Credit unions are scarfing it up. Everybody but us consumers are the ones who are paying. The interest that we're paying is unbelievable for money that's being given away to everyone else. And that should alarm you, should really scare you. But national average, if you aren't at 7-Eleven, we need to be talking. If you are at 7-Eleven, we still need to talk. Congratulations for you, but food for thought. If the data is incorrect, the score is incorrect. All right? If the data is incorrect, the score is incorrect. And we know, if you don't know, you will know by the end of this evening, that Equifax, TransUnion, and Experian are not your friend. They're not your friend. These are for-profit businesses, okay? They make money off of collection of data. Your data, my data, everyone's data. You and I exchanging data, that doesn't do nothing. That's why when you go to your local bodega and you use cash or debit, or you go to your local watering hole, or you go to your favorite restaurant, or you order your favorite item off of Amazon, or who else is out there, Walmart, Target, wherever you do whatever it is that you do with your money. When you use your cash and your debit, that's just a thank you. That's all it is, a thank you. We've gotten so diluted in our understanding of how we manage our money that we let other people tell us what to do with our money. Cash and debit. Sorry, cash is king, that old saying, but credit is king. Or cash is queen now, and credit is king. No, sorry, got that all wrong. Cash is king, and credit is power. All right? Cash is king, and credit is power. See, that's what getting old does to you. You mess it up in the beginning, and then you come right back with that. But that's what you need. You need us older generations who are knowledgeable to give you younger folks what you're going to need as we move this nation towards a better nation. And it's going to be in how you manage your finance. What I'm talking about is African Americans. What I'm talking about is Hispanics. What I'm talking about is these diluted, poor white people. What I'm talking about is these, again, diluted, poor Asians, Middle Eastern. This is a united nations here, okay? We're all immigrants. And when we get caught up in these whole isolations of, oh, this is my group, and this is my group, and this is my group. Yes, I'm primarily an African American, meaning I'm going to help everybody who's African American. But I lived in Germany for a while. I kind of feel myself, ich bin ein Berliner as well. Thank you, Mr. Kennedy, for that. But I mean, come on, I've traveled to Sao Paulo. I could be part of South America. It's all just a mix of who this great nation could be. And we got to do better. We have to do better. And it's got to start with how you manage your money. So if the data is incorrect, the score is incorrect. All right, so why the pandemic may be hurting your credit report. So there was a pandemic, everybody. It's not gone. It's not over. If you live in Florida, there's something else going on down there with Ron, I don't know what type of Governor DeSantis he is, but I mean, come on. Really? Really? Ugh. Won't go there, but reporting errors are piling up and consumers are being wrongfully penalized. How can you keep your credit healthy? Well, you can start doing some of these very, 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 very simple things. Obviously, we all know paying on time, and that chart's going to come up. Making sure, obviously, that you do what is recommended. The doctors give you recommendations. The pharmacies give you recommendations. The clerk at the local store gives you a recommendation. When I worked at Petco, I gave recommendations. When I worked at Universal Studios, I gave recommendations. When I worked at United Airlines, I gave recommendations. Yes, that's just 3 top companies that I've worked for, that I've had the privilege of, and I'm very thankful and grateful that they allowed for me to do what they've allowed for me to do: customer service, safety professional, and all of these aspects that come with the job. But we're being penalized for something that we know is wrong. We're just not doing what we need to do. How do we keep it? Paying on time, like I said, and making sure your utilization is on point. So that 7-Eleven that was just garnished across the screen here just a few seconds ago, that 7-Eleven means that you're somewhere in that 8 to 15 range when it comes to your interest rates. Could be a little bit higher, but I'm going to just throw it out there, 8 to 15 range. If you're lower than that, then clearly you already know that you're in that 15 to 24 range. And that's got to be astronomical. And people should think 24%, 18% on credit cards or a car loan is giving that money away. Plus, you're using your debit and your credit. You just say, here you go, here you go, here you go, here you go. You're just giving it away. This is going to help you start putting some of that back in your pocket, because now you're going to be better informed, wise, smart, savvy consumers that can do what is necessary. You're the CEO of your household. You have to start acting like one, but you have to know how to be a CEO. So why not? Hey, talk to a CEO. All right, so Experian, Equifax, TransUnion are used by companies like FICO. If you haven't heard what FICO is, Fair Isaac Corporation, they are a company that, again, they just collect your data. You probably see their commercials on TV. They have a variety of scoring mechanisms. They use high-tech weaponry. All right, high-tech weaponry is just a simple high-tech weaponry. They're Russia, you're Ukraine. I hate to use scenarios like that, but it's so relevant. It's what's going on right now today, and we feel for Ukraine. So I want you to feel almost just as bad about how your credit situation is, because FICO, which is Russia, you're Ukraine. They're just bombing you. They're just bombing you using high-tech weaponry. And if you don't know how they're doing it, again, that's why these shows are here. Look at VantageScore, the same thing. You got 2 institutions. So doesn't that kind of make you think something when you have 2 institutions that collect your data for profit and sell it to these other guys? But not necessarily sell it, they're in cahoots with each other. All right? But you let a government allow for these institutions to do all this. You see where I'm going with that? So it's not that we want to get rid of them, as most people always go, oh, well, you're trying to abolish and you're trying to defund and you're trying to. No. What we're attempting to do is make it right, make it make sense. Because if they can't make it make sense to themselves and to Congress, that's why you have smart people like myself who can make it make sense with the experience that you gained from the companies that, again, they're doing business with. They get your information from the targets. Target was a company that bought out a company that I used to work for called Mervyn's in California. And I don't think Mr. Mervyn's is still to this day, if he's alive, which I hope he is, I don't think he's too happy about that transaction. Okay, Walmart. Okay, all of those credit cards that you get from various store cards, credit cards that you get from various banks, loans that you get from, whether it be a third party or a fourth party or however you get that loan. That's what I'm referring to. That information goes directly into systems that they use computers and algorithms to drum up scores based on data that they themselves know is going to only benefit them. Yeah, we're going to have some outliers, no questions about it, yes. But should your zip code have anything to do with your credit? Probably not. I don't think it should. Me personally, I don't think it should. It should be my behavior, how I use my money. My zip code should have absolutely nothing to do with that. Should my state? Last name? Oh, yes, last name. Okay, so there are things that go on within your credit report that you don't know, and if you're not challenging it, and this is the big part about what we talk about, using the proper verbiage. We don't want to dispute anything. Dispute in itself is already saying, oh, didn't do it. Sorry, didn't do it. Not me. So they got you already in the sense of, well, when you request something saying it's not you, they're going to already come back and say, well, yes, it is. Sorry, done. And then we, as they already know, because they know us better than we know ourselves, they know we're going to give up. We might even attempt to go that second round. Aha, they think they got me, so I'm going to go a second round. Ha ha. No. After that second round, it's already programmed in us. Oh, there's nothing going to happen. I might as well just leave it alone. And we go right back to that same old, same old. That's called the defeatist mechanism. And they defeat you because they know exactly what they have to do to defeat you. But now you got people like myself, your coach, someone who's going to build those muscles, someone who's going to work you out, make sure that you understand, no, they're the ones who would actually give up if you pursued it in the manner in which you should pursue it. All right? So a credit score is a 3-digit number. That's all it is. It's a mathematical formula, which is used by lenders when deciding whether to offer credit cards, auto loans, homes, student loans, and lines of credit to consumers, and what interest rate they'll charge. Yes, that interest rate. So higher your credit, the lower your interest rate is going to be. Right? The lower your credit, higher your interest rate is going to be. And we want everybody to be around. Again, I just said they're giving money away to businesses, to banks. Banks trade amongst themselves if they don't have enough money. Do you think that FDIC on the bank's door means for the general bank robber? You think that's for the bank robber? Well, here too again. Boop, pop that bubble. It's not. That's for if the bank does what I do all day. Sometimes, not all day, but a good portion of the day, because I have that much time on my hands when I'm teaching. Yes, when I'm teaching, because I teach business, I teach what the students want to know. So it allows for me to equally continue to expand my horizons while I'm also expanding the horizons of so many of these wonderful, wonderful students that we get to be around all the time. So I'm very grateful for that opportunity as well. But yes, that interest rate, got to bring it down. Got to bring it down. You're paying too much for whatever that financial product is. If you can get it under control, if you can keep it at a steady rate, as I say, zero. They're borrowing money at zero. They borrow money from themselves to put it into the banks. And then if they don't have enough cash or whatever on hand, they tell you to come back. You can't go down there and get $10,000, $20,000. No, you got to fill out a requisition to actually get that money to be brought to the bank. So it's not the way that we think it is. So that FDIC is for their protection if they're trading money and that money tends to go whoop, disappear somewhere. All right, not necessarily disappear, but you can lose a pretty penny doing that trading. That's something that, again, whole different topic, whole different day, but there's someone who's even better than I when it comes to that, and her name is Dr. Yana B. Woodhouse. She can put you in a direction that no one possibly could. Maybe there's probably some others out there, but as I stated, brilliant. But that's why I wanted to just get back into my space, which is that credit. All right, moving right along. As a growing number of Americans have left the workforce and witnessed the slight dip in the economy during that pandemic, Americans who aren't paying attention to their credit report, which could make an already questionable financial situation even more troubling or disturbing. All right, if you're not paying to your credit report, if you're not paying attention to it, you could be making matters worse. All right, again, just that simple. And we don't want to make matters worse. Come on, do you really? I just went over a host of information already. Just letting you know, it's not going to come from your employer. It's not going to come from the federal government. It's going to come from how you do what you need to do when it comes to your money. There are a host of consumer protection acts and laws which allow you to challenge every trade line on your credit report. And that's the difference between dispute and challenge. All right? You have consumer protection acts and laws which allow you to challenge Yeah, they allow you to dispute it as well. But again, that dispute means I didn't do it. But when you challenge something, you're challenging the validity of all of it, even if it's off by 1 penny. 1 penny. Is your address incorrect? Okay, that means your credit report is not accurate. And there's so much information in that credit report. And if you don't know how to read it, we're back on square one again. You need a translator. You need someone who can navigate you through your credit report so that you can spot those things that are not you and equally are not true. Owing someone. Now, last week I was talking to firefighters. Great conversation, great bunch of guys. I give them nothing but all the glory and the joy in which they do and how they do it. It's amazing. But black firefighters got with me and they said, hey, can you start helping us out with X, Y, and Z? And I was like, absolutely, most definitely. So thank you. If there are other groups out there that are looking to do the exact same thing, again, Leverage Credit Recovery right here on Soul City Network. You can shoot me an email, Leverage Credit Recovery. Again, shoot me a text. We'll work with anyone. It's just that simple. We'll work with anyone. You want education? We got you covered. Bottom line. All right, so those trade lines, if you don't understand them, how do you know if they're working for you or they're working against you? And I can tell you they're working against you. And we got something that blows everybody else out the water. We play off the State of the Union, which we have our State of Your Credit. And again, State of Your Credit. We are talking about the State of the Union, which we already know is fragile and it's really on shaky ground. But should your credit be the exact same way? I can sit here and tell you a bunch of information about the Dow and how it's still going up. It went down a dip. Now it's coming back up. Probably going to continue to keep going up. Again, we're doing things in this country to make sure that those who are fortunate are making out hand over foot. And those who are less fortunate are using things like inflation. You're running around here talking about inflation. Do we really understand what inflation is, how that impacts us, other than, when I go to the store, when I put gas in my cars? Yes, of course, that's the normal things anyway that you do. But if your income was a bit higher, you probably wouldn't feel that inflation so much. If you kept up with inflation, probably wouldn't feel it so much. But when you know that it's against you, but yet you see the economy still doing what it's doing, and you hear how this person is getting this type of a bonus. Jamie Dimon, I think, chased, if I'm not mistaken, $54 million bonus. Really, bro? You really worth that much? Okay, with all the fines and fees that your bank pays out? I mean, seriously, we got our stuff a little kind of upside down, would you say? All right, so I don't want to get into calling anyone out or singling anyone out, but you the individual, you're going to have to decide. You're going to have to decide what's more important. Making sure that your elected officials have their pay raises, making sure that they are on different credit profiles and situations than you are, making sure that their percentage of wealth gets larger and larger and larger while yours continues to either stay the same or even get smaller. Singles and seniors, oh my God, I'm a single and I'm almost a senior. If it were not for the smarts and the brilliance of starting a business and getting out there and putting yourself in front of people and doing what we do, I don't know where I would be today. It's just that alarming. It is just that alarming, the circumstances, but it can all change. And it all depends on what you do to make it change. It all depends on what you do, because even if you just do it for yourself and you pass that knowledge on to your children or your nephews and nieces, like I'm doing, love all of them, every single last one of them. Might not like their behaviors or their dispositions, but I love them all, every single last one of them. And I'm making sure that all I can do is give them the information. That's all I can do, give them the information. What they do with that information is completely up to them. But those little ones, they're going to know about it. They're going to know prior to. And I'm challenging everyone to go to my Facebook page, go to my YouTube, actually not YouTube, but go to my Instagram page, go to my TikTok page, and take our challenge. Faith, family, and finance challenge. It's real simple. Just pass it on. It's real super simple. Just pass it on. That's the challenge. All right, get back to it. Errors on one's credit report have long posed a problem for consumers. The best and biggest studies on this issue were done by the Federal Trade Commission in 2012, where it found 1 in 4 consumers had at least one error on their credit report. But the COVID-19 crisis has worsened the situation even more. So if you're not checking your credit report, you're not doing your due diligence, you're checking your credit report, you're setting yourself up for failure. And I hate to always be the bearer of bad news, but that's going to come back to bite you. It's going to come back to bite you, haunt you. It's going to make your life intolerable. Not being able to access or having access to credit is going to make matters worse. 1 and 2% is so golden. Even if you have to get up to 3 and 4 and 5%, so golden. That is so much better when you think about 70, 80% of the population that are in that under 7, 11. Yes. Oh, yes. Yeah, those numbers are alarming. But I really right now want to talk to our women, our Black women, our Hispanic women, our white women, poor white women, Asian women, Middle Eastern women. You are the backbone of our shopping economy. You are the ones who keep a lot of what's ongoing going. You buy those school clothes. You put those groceries in there. You do so much for your family, and you're underrated by males who think that they can control your bodies. And I hope that that debate, again, sets the record straight that we do not want, or excuse me, not we, I'm not, but I'm in your corner. So I'm just as passionate about it as you are. You don't need nobody controlling your reproductive organs. You're not doing it to them, so they shouldn't be doing it to you. You're not doing it to me, which I'm very grateful for, so we males shouldn't be doing it to you. But as I'm stating, when it comes to that financial piece, you got it. You got it. You do need some support and assistance, and that's what we are here to do. But you got it. You got it. You do it all already. I'm just giving you more ammunition to go out there. And I know that's a horrible thing to be saying in such tragic times. I'm a teacher. I wept like a little baby. I got students who every single morning go in, and I couldn't imagine for a second what happened in Uvalde. It's just unfathomable. And I hope that as we move through these horrible, horrible, horrible times, we find some solace and some relief of this ailment that we have when it comes to guns. Nobody wants to take them. Nobody wants to impose upon your amendments or your rights, not in the least bit, but we do want some common sense legislation. And if you're not for common sense legislation, then maybe one of those rockets that Bezos or Elon Musk is trying to put up there, or wherever they're trying to go, maybe you guys can help them so you all can go on your merry way. Just like they found this country, found, all right, because it was already there. But just like they found this country, maybe you guys again. We know there's metaverses and all kind of verses out there. So go on, again, but leave what we've already started. Let's leave it intact, and let's make sure that we build upon it. But all of you who are hell-bent on destroying it, you know what I'm saying to you? Go on. Too many smart people, too many wise, savvy, brilliant people like our women, the Stacey Abrams, the Kamala Harrises, the Elizabeth Warrens. I mean, there's a host. My best friend, Susan, some of my teacher friends, Dr. Washington, Dr. Yana B. Woodhouse, my mother. I mean, again, all they need is just a little bit of push. They need a little bit, not even a push, because they're already taking the reins. The horse is in their hands already. They just need us to step to the side. As Reverend Al said, all of us need poor Black people, poor Hispanic people, poor white people. We need for these so-called legislators to get up off our necks so we can do what this country really needs. We the people will change these situations and these circumstances. It's up to us. We want it, we can have it. All right, I know I got up a little bit off subject there, but again, COVID-19 made matters worse. And if they made matters worse, that means you're going to have to do more to resolve these situations. All right, Equifax TransUnion Experian, as I said before, they're not your friend. They're not there to be your friend. All right, and if you think they are, I got a bridge in the backyard that I'd like to sell you. It's got everything. It's got all the great features, the lights and everything. It's a beautiful bridge. It's so big and it's so massive. It's a beautiful bridge. It'll fit perfectly wherever you want to put it. I'm being sarcastic. All right, so what affects your credit score? All right, what negatively affects your credit scores? And these are the things. So if you happen to know how to get your credit report, if you do not, I'm going to spell it out to you, annualcreditreport.com. Annualcreditreport.com. If you have a third party like Sesame or Identity IQ or what's that called again? There's a host of them. There's got that Sesame guy who shows up on TV, Identity IQ, Privacy Guard, even MyFICO. Even if you're using Equifax TransUnion Experian, if you're using that, I'm not going to call it garbage because if you're using that manure, stop giving them your money until you know exactly that they're reporting your information correctly. All right, stop it. Stop. Get a free one from annualcreditreport.com. Annualcreditreport.com. Get you a free one from annualcreditreport.com. And if you can't navigate it, these things right here that I'm getting ready to tell you, then you need to talk to someone like myself. Okay, so a charge-off, these are the cool ones. These are the things that I think people really kind of don't understand, but they think they understand. Oh, well, I got into this debt and now it's mine and I know I should have did the right things. Absolutely. We always should do the right thing. Always. But sometimes things happen. That's it. It just happen. And when it happens in a negative. So that means what should we do to get it off? Well, the charge-off basically means the company said, you know what? We're not going to make this money. Not going to get it from him. So the federal government said, hey, Mr. Business, guess what we're going to do for you? If you happen to take a loss in your business, we're going to allow for you to charge it off. We're going to allow for you to write it off. They're not saying that you still do not owe that individual, but there is a substantial amount that has already gone to that individual company that you may have borrowed from. And you still owe maybe the difference. But imagine this. If you borrowed $1,000 and they gave them back $999, that means you only owe them $1. Okay, wouldn't you pay that $1 to get your information free and clear, wiped off the face of the planet, back to normal? Of course we would. But since we don't know these things, we allow for it to sit there and harm us even more and more and more and more and more. There's even more to that charge-off. There's something called a bad debt deduction. Oh, yeah, I keep telling you. I mean, I'm going to constantly keep telling you. I'm a smart guy. I decided to do this because it's a passion. It's a love. It's a joy. Just like we're fanatic about our sports. We're fanatic about Harry Potter and all of those other fantastic books and genres that are out there. We're fanatic about our music. We're fanatic about whatever it is that you love, shopping or whatever it is. I love credit. Yes, exactly. I love it. I think it's the most invigorating thing that I look forward to all the time when I'm reviewing or when I'm looking into further things. And if I'm incorrect, which no one has taken me up on my challenge there, question. If you have a question you want solved, riddle, whatever, go ahead, throw it in there. Credit related, obviously. Okay? But clearly no one takes me up on that. But I'm waiting for that person to, because I know a lot more. So that charge off, again, you owe, but you owe probably not what you think you owe. And then once you have settled that in that regards, then you want them to take it off. That's it. That's correct. The collections. Now, this is another one. This is another one that I crack up over all the time when somebody brings it to my attention. You don't owe a collections agency absolutely nil, nothing, nada. Why? Because you're not in a contractual relationship with them. If you did, Whole different story, but we can get you out of that too. Because what? You didn't know about that. They did, but you didn't. So they coerced you into doing something that you necessarily probably would not have done had you known. Okay? All right. So collections, you don't owe anybody that you have not gotten into a contractual relationship with. That charge off is part of that collections piece. The company charges it off, then they sell it to a collections company. Now you got a lot of law firms out there that have gotten into the business of collections because they know that that's easier money than actually doing what they went to law to do, which was kind of criminal law. No, they decided to take the easy way out. Now I get where they got this whole saying, ambulance chaser. I get it. But when you're hurt and injured, by all means, they're insured. Why not? Guess what businesses are too when it comes to their money? They're insured too. If they lend you something, trust me, they've insured it. They're not just going to do it just because they like you. They're not your friends. Okay, so collections again, activity. That activity gets sold to someone, and that someone uses the understanding because you don't know, and they tell you, oh, we're collecting on behalf of. On behalf of who? Themselves. Not on behalf of anyone else. They just use that information for visual purposes. All right? Don't believe me? Again, all we got to do is put it to the test. I put it to the test for many of my consumers. I put it to the test for many of people, and it's all coming true. Don't believe that? Well, I got congressional reports that all validate every word that I just almost came out of my mouth. But that's not why we're here. We're here to get you to understand that these are the things that you're going to have to do. You're going to have to negotiate, navigate through these particulars and get them off your credit report. And watch this. I love sound effects. But yes, go up. It'll go up, and it just keep going 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 up, and it's going to go up. It's going to go up. Negative information gets removed. You start doing the things that you're supposed to be doing as a responsible credit obligated person. Boom. Just in those two areas right there. Hard inquiries, stop. If you are inquiring about credit, stop. Stop right now. No more than 5 inquiries a year. 5. 5. That's all. Only 5. Stop. If you're doing anything more than 5, think about it this way. If you were the best looking person in the whole wide world, whoever that wants to be, I'm the best looking person. If you were me, okay, and somebody kept asking you out every single day, and you didn't want to put that person off, make him feel bad or whatever the case may, her, he, whatever. You didn't want to make that person feel bad. So no. Oh, I'm doing something. But at some point, guess what? It's going to get annoying. You're going to be like, yo, well, how many times do I got to tell you? That's what I'm saying right there. So stop. You're hurting yourself. You're doing more harm than good. So stop. All right. Late payments, that's a no-brainer. Have to pay those bills. You pay those bills on time. That's 35% of your overall credit report right there. 35%. Overall credit report paying on time. I told you, you're dealing with companies that are using high-tech weaponry. They're using AI. They're using artificial intelligence to gen up and generate whatever it is that they need for themselves. That's why this can't be in the hands of private entity. This has to be in a public forum where consumers can get the bang for their buck. Now that you know. All right, it's going to take a little time to get there, but we can still do what we need to do in the meantime. All right, bankruptcies. If you've had a bankruptcy, it can still come off your credit report. It doesn't have to stay there. If you are doing the right thing, 7 to 10 years. And under normal circumstances, they probably would, not normal, but I'm saying abnormal circumstances like now, if you were 5 years into it, or maybe, again, negotiation. All of this is negotiations. All right, if you know how to negotiate, if you know how to speak that language. I got one of my consumers out of a $40,000 credit card debt, 40 grand. Other success stories like that as well. So it's up to you. If it doesn't have to be there, it doesn't have to be there. All right, no credit. That means you're invisible. You got to start working on that. There's no reason why we have individuals walking around who don't know what credit is, who have no idea. One of my students just got his first American Express card. Yes, I said student. First American Express card. Oh, he's responsible. No, it's not no little kid. This is a young man that I had in class in high school. He started working for me after he graduated. And 2 years into it, he calls me back and he says, yo, Mr. Glover, thank you so much for the information that you gave me. He showed me his credit score, 730, I think it was somewhere in that range. But again, doing things for himself at such a young age. And the saddest part about what I thought about this young man was I didn't think he was going to grasp it. I didn't think he was going to get it. And he not only got it, he exceeded my wildest expectations. So I'm so impressed with this young man. And I'm hoping that now that he understands that even with a modest income of a high school student who's not making a whole bunch of money, you can still manage your finances properly with coaching, with tutelage, with someone who's going to be there no matter we talk 24/7 or if we talk every third, fourth, fifth month. It doesn't matter. But I have a plan and a strategic understanding of how I work my clients, so it would definitely be more frequent than that. But you get my point. Outdated information doesn't need to be on your credit report. If it's outdated, it can harm you in some form or fashion. Judgments are another one, very laughable. I love them because there's this phrase or there's these words, adverse inference. Most of us get judgments and we end up before the courts because of adverse inference. We do not reply to the judgment that comes. Well, it's called a summary. Okay, so you get a summary judgment. That summary means that somebody is now suing you. More than likely, it's not the company, it's that collection agency, or as I mentioned before, it's that law firm. So those law firms, because again, easy money, 9 out of 10. 9 out of 10 times these individuals who are coming after you know that you won't do the part that you're supposed to. Then you get hit with that judgment. Then you get hit with that garnishment. Once it hits the garnishment, there's almost nothing you can do. Almost being the operative word. Okay, so again, you're talking to those who want to make sure that you understand the verbiage. You can't speak the language, I'll be your translator. You don't understand what's going on in your credit report, I'll be your translator. And if you need someone to keep you motivated and keep you engaged in your finances until you are able to soar like an eagle, I'll be your coach. All right, I don't play no games. I don't pull no punches. I tell it to you exactly like it is. But I can tell you this: once we talk about your past is your past. It is done and it's over. There's no need to keep revisiting, because that's another one of our stigmatisms that we continuously keep running around here with, is that we constantly keep revisiting our past. It's done. It's over with. Let it go. Once you do, I'm telling you, you're going to feel free. And if you got any other baggages that you have haven't unloaded, again, before I came back to New York State, I made it a purpose. Write out emails, picked up whatever was in my contact list, whatever it was, whether it was in my Filofax or you guys, again, I'm a little bit older. I had one of those things that had the telephone numbers, one of those Rolo things too that had the telephone numbers in there, ABC and so forth and so on. Called everybody, told everybody. If I did something to you in my earlier stages of life, I am so sorry. And it was because of whatever it is that I was going through. But I apologized. I prayed. I put it into the hands of the Creator. And at that point, after I did that, I let it go. And I'm telling you right now, my blessings have been just coming and coming and coming and coming and coming. They've been coming. They've been just coming and coming and coming and coming. Because now my work is not for me. It's not for anybody else. I know where my reward is coming. So I work because I love it and I enjoy it. People do get on your last, no question about it. They will work that nerves. Oh, yes, they will. They'll tap dance on it. Misery does love company, but I'm not that type of company. All right, so that's why I'm telling you. What you're going to get is what you need to make sure that financial situation is exactly where you want it to be, not where I want it to be. Definitely not where I want it to be, but where you want it to be. All right. So credit is the foundation. Credit is what allows for you to start branching off into those other opportunities that are going to be out there. All right. As I was stating, payment on time, paying on time. You pay on time, that's 35% of your overall credit report. All right. This 30%, how much you owe, that's that utilization. Utilization is so important, and we're going to do this one more time, meaning this whole segment right here. We might even do it again next week because I want this to stick like glue. I really want everybody to walk away today with a better understanding of what you have to do. And just to give you a refresh, I think I want to do it again next week, just so you know, so that it's there. You're only going to make these behavioral changes when you start seeing the information more frequently. All right, so 30%, as I said, that payment history and utilization. If you max it out, you got to bring it down to a certain number. 700, that means you have to bring it down to 23%. So if I'm at $1,000, if I max out $1,000, I got to bring it down to $230. That means my balance on the day that I pay, meaning when I make that payment, has to be that $230. Simple math. You take what your limit is, you multiply it times 23% if you are under 700. Okay, if you are under 700, so I'm talking primarily to those who are under 700. If you're in that 800 range, what you're going to do, meaning just that 800, you're going to take that same 23% and you're going to multiply it times your limit. So it's going to be not the 23%, my apologies. You're going to take 11%, and you're going to multiply that times your limit. Why? As your credit increases, so should your decrease should your interest should decrease, or the amount you owe. My apologies. The amount you owe should decrease. All right. I'm going to go over that again. I'm going to do it again, but I want you to get the importance of these two areas right here. That's 65% of your overall credit. Now, I'm a teacher. And some of you, well, all of you probably gone to school, but you know 65% is a passing grade. It's a modest passing grade, but it's a passing grade. You're going to get some sprinkles from this area over here. When I was talking about inquiries, right here, types of credit, or excuse me, new credit. New credit is, am I inquiring? If I'm inquiring too much, I'm not going to get this full 10. I might get, say, 3. Might even get nothing if I'm inquiring that much. I can actually get absolutely nothing. So that's why I said 5 per year. 5 per year. So you get 5 points from here. And then you get another 5 points from types of credit. Types of credits are credit cards, loans, all right, lines of credit, store cards, not business cards. My apologies. That's a whole nother segment that we're going to do also equally of those of you who are looking to get into business. But any type of credit obligation falls into that types of credit. You're going to get another 5 points from this area too. So you're looking at already 65 plus 5 is 70, plus another 5 is 75. And what if you got 10 here? All right, your credit history. How long have you been a credit consumer? How long have you been doing the right things by your credit or the wrong things by your credit? All right, so we want you to get the whole picture. This is you. And as long as you understand what you need to do here, guess what's going to happen? Upward trajectory, upward trajectory. That's what I'm talking about. Your credit should always be going in upward trajectory. All right, so that's what we do, folks. We make you smarter than you thought you could be when it comes to your money. We put you in that area where you can make better choices and decisions that's going to ultimately help you and yours. If you don't start helping you and yours, who's going to? Who? I said earlier in the segment, it's not going to come from your employer. It's not going to come from the federal government. It's going to come by what you start doing. Once you start putting that forward, once you start putting yourself first, you're going to see those changes. And don't forget, those changes are going to be needed by someone who can coach you through your behavioral, financial misunderstandings. All right, just that simple, just that easy. This has been an awesome show. You have been an awesome audience. I'm always looking forward to talking to anyone who wants to, again, leverage credit recovery. leverageCreditRecovery.com is our website. Email is leveragecreditrecovery@gmail.com. You can text me 805-428-9424. I'm always available for anyone who, again, needs that education. That's what I do. That's what I love. That's my passion. My passion is making sure that you are financially fit, prepared. Check out our social media sites, Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, and Twitter. All right, they're there. They're there. Use us. Take full advantage of us. That's what we do. We appreciate every single last one of you. Our heart goes out to all individuals who have been affected by gun violence. Our love goes out to every single woman on the face of this planet. And I'm hoping that everyone continues to have a safe, wonderful, blessed remainder of your week. Be safe, America.
We are the sons and daughters of the soul. We are resilient and forever forward thinking. We ask for nothing else than the opportunity to live and to create the lives that we were meant to live. We want nothing but an equal chance at options and possibilities. The same possibilities and options to live out our potential as our fellow man. We want to be heard, understood, and expressive in our reality. We are the future. We are the creative. We are here.